What's up, guys? Today we'll be comparing two of my favorite budget smartphones, the Umidigi F1 and the Samsung Galaxy A50. So the A50 comes at a $300 price range, and the Umidigi that you can find for around $200. So let's go ahead and get into the comparison. First, let's go ahead and run down the specs. So we've got GSM Arena booted up right here. So let's go ahead. We got a 6.3-inch display on the F1, 1080 by 2340. We got a 6.4-inch display on the Galaxy A50. That is 1080 by 2340. We do have a 25 megapixel camera for the main camera on the A50 and a 16 megapixel for the Umidigi. They both shoot in 1080p. So this one has 4 gigabytes of RAM, the F1, and the Galaxy A50 has 6 gigabytes of RAM, but this specific model has 4 gigabytes of RAM as well. So as you can see, the Umidigi F1 has a massive battery at 5,150. While the Galaxy A50 has 4,000 milliamp battery, but you're getting about the same amount of battery life. So I've experienced about two days of battery life on the Galaxy A50 light use, and about 2 days of battery life, and a little bit more on the Umidigi. So the Umidigi does have better battery life since it's got a just a bigger battery. So that is definitely a plus. The battery is really hard to kill on the Umidigi F1. Now, the Galaxy A50 is GSM, and the Umidigi F1 is actually dual SIM. So it has GSM and CDMA, so you can use it on Verizon and AT&T, which is very awesome. So if you scroll down, if you take a look at the devices, just hop off the specs real quick, we'll get back to them. As you can see, for design wise, obviously the Umidigi is cheaper, so it's not going to look as nice as the Galaxy A50. So we do have a triple camera setup on the Galaxy A50. We do have that wide angle lens. We only have 2 cameras on here. The fingerprint scanner, we have a physical one, but I'll get into that in a minute. But overall, design wise, the Galaxy A50 is obviously going to be the winner. It's lighter, it looks better in my opinion, and you can get different colors which make the phone look even better. But as you can see, they both come with USB Type-C, both come with a headphone jack, speaker grill at the bottom. Now, when it comes to the fingerprint scanner, I actually prefer the physical fingerprint scanner better because I think it's a little more accurate. Sometimes I feel like the Galaxy A50's in-display fingerprint scanner, sometimes it's a little bit, it doesn't always get my finger, and sometimes I feel like it's just a little bit slower than, just hitting the physical one. It is a first-gen technology, so, it is what it is, but it definitely sometimes doesn't get my finger all the way, and I have to make sure I put it on there precisely right, instead of just, I could just really just, oh god, I could really just tap this thing right here and it pretty much registered it, but I have to hold it down and make sure my finger's on it right on the A50. So that's definitely something that could annoy you. But for the displays, to get back to that, the Galaxy A50 has a Super AMOLED display, so you have that always on display. And one of the weird things with the Umidigi is that there's actually no LED notification light. And this doesn't have a Super AMOLED display, so when you get a notification, you're pretty much not going to know with this phone, which is really stupid. It's one of the biggest flaws of this phone, in my opinion. So when you're waiting on text, you'll never know. You really have to just turn the display on every single time. We do have Android 9.0 on both of these guys. You do have the MediaTek processor on here, the Helio P60, and you have the Exynos 9610 processor on here. And honestly, they're both pretty well matched in the real world. The Galaxy A50 is more powerful. It plays games better and faster. You do have micro SD card up to 256 gigs. You do have micro SD card on here on the A50 up to 512 gigs. Now, the crazy thing about the Umidigi F1 is that it comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. This one came with 64 gigabytes, but mine came with a free SD card, so I got an extra 64 gigs. So you do get 4 gigabytes of RAM on both of these guys as well. So for the cameras, we have a 16 megapixel dual setup on the F1s, and 8 megapixel for that secondary camera. We do have, this does shoot in 1080p, and for the selfie camera on the Umidigi F1, we have 16 megapixel on the front, and it also shoots in 1080p. For the Galaxy A50, you have 25 8 megapixel and a 5 megapixel camera, and we also have a 25 megapixel front facing camera, and the camera quality is like day and night on these two phones. I mean, it's really what can I say, it's really like dramatically, like the Galaxy A50 is so much better than the Umidigi F1. It's faster at focusing, and it just takes photos overall better. So as you can see, let me just pop some comparisons on. As you can see, like the Umidigi F1 does really good in good lighting, but the Galaxy A50 does good in everything. It's just a really good. It's so, if you're looking for a budget smartphone with a great camera, the Galaxy A50 is gonna beat it every single time. The Umidigi F1, the cameras aren't terrible, but you know, they're just, it's nowhere near on the level of the Galaxy A50. It's so much better. So if you're looking for a great camera smartphone, go with the A50. It's so much better. You got more features. You do have this little AR emoji thing, which is, I don't know, it's kind of gimmicky, but it's definitely very, very cool. You know, it's sort of like the Bitmoji thing. I had a lot of fun playing with it. If I can get it to pop up. Yeah, there it is right there. So it just sort of takes a picture of your face and all that stuff. Like I said, the Galaxy A50 the camera is so much better. It's ridiculous. The coloring and everything is just so much better. It's just, you know, like I said, night and day. So for the OS, it really comes down to personal preference. So if you prefer Samsung's OS versus pretty much stock Android, this is stock Android 100,000%. They didn't add anything to the OS on the Umidigi F1. So if you're a stock Android fan and you just, you know, like Android plain and simple, you don't need all the extra stuff on here, then definitely the Umidigi F1 is where it's at. I actually like Samsung's UI. I think it's really clean, so you can't go wrong with both. So, you know, it just depends on your personal preference. So this phone, the Umidigi F1, has NFC. The Galaxy A50, this version does not. So you would have to find the certain version. The one that they, you know, sold me on Amazon does not have the NFC on here, which is a bummer. So let's go ahead and do the generic speed test on here. And let's go ahead and launch some applications real quick. So let's go ahead and launch up YouTube. So the Umidigi beat it by a little bit. Let's go ahead and launch up Facebook. I don't know, the Umidigi it's beating it. Spotify. Okay. So the Umidigi F1 is actually a little bit faster, it seems like. Let's go ahead and try this Bible app. Yeah, okay, so the oh well, nope. So yeah, I don't know if stock Android has something to do with it, because I know the Galaxy A50 plays games, so it's got a stronger GPU, but I think stock Android, I think it's just faster. Makes everything faster. Let's Instagram 1 2 3. Yeah, so it's just faster. I can't really, well, let's try the camera. 1 2 3. Yeah, so the Umidigi F1 is just faster than Galaxy A50. So that's weird. I wasn't expecting, this is the first time I'm seeing this as well, so I'm actually like, what? Because I know, because the Galaxy A50 felt faster, but I guess, yeah, so that was actually almost at the same time. So yeah, in the real world you won't actually notice this at all, so it really doesn't matter. But you know, it is slightly faster. So overall, you can't go wrong with both these phones. If you need a phone with a massive battery life, the Umidigi F1 is definitely it. If you need a phone with stock Android, it's definitely It plays games just fine. It does everything fine, and for $200, you know, you break or crack the screen on here, it's $200. You're not going to be too devastated. But if you looking for a smartphone with great battery life, as well, because this has pretty much on par. You can get 2 days of battery life out of both of these guys. You just get a little bit more with this one. But if you look for a phone with great battery life and great cameras, the cameras are so much better on the Galaxy A50. It's ridiculous. So overall, these are two great smartphones. Definitely, you can't go wrong with either one. You just have to really choose and pick which features you like more. Do you need a better camera, a lighter device? You know, do you like Samsung's UI a little bit more, or with the Umidigi F1 do you need a massive battery, NFC, stuff like that? Alright guys, thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.